This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good afternoon, good tomorrow, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome aboard as we get set up to queue up the month of November for our Edmonton Oilers after a forgettable October closed out with one really memorable night down at Commonwealth Stadium. Of course, it was a beautiful night, and I'd like to thank everybody that showed up and made it special, because up until game time there was a lot of debate if really the stadium was going to be sold out, and for the better portion of everything involved, the stadium was sold out, which was awesome to see, especially given the Oilers walking into that game 1-5-1. To Patrick, Toff, and Brandon for making it a memorable night. The four of us going down to the Commonwealth, freezing our butts off way high in the stands. It was a great evening, and I really look forward to hopefully getting to do it again soon. Maybe not 20 years down the road, maybe 10, maybe 12 years down the road. Who knows? But it would be definitely awesome to see that happen again here soon. So, with everything considered from the Heritage Classic, we have had a couple of days off, right? Sunday evening, we played that game. Monday, Tuesday, tonight's Wednesday. Finally, tomorrow again, the Edmonton Oilers play a hockey game, and that's where we queue up tonight's graphic, friends. You look at the schedule for November and where it really comes down to for the Edmonton Oilers in what will be a big make or break month. Obviously, yeah, you know what? I told you. I hadn't given up hope on this team quite yet. And basically, one of my things that I kind of put as a prerequisite to having those discussions about being a better team again is simply, you know what, make a call up, make a send down, and we'll talk. Well, the Oilers did that yesterday, and we talked, right? Gagne is pretty much exactly the guy you're looking for in the role that you had Adam Ernie in, and a guy that is going to contribute a little bit more, hopefully offensively, in that bottom six role than Adam Ernie does. So, as the Oilers look to manipulate the roster and do all that and get to winning, well, where does that leave us? That leaves us looking at right here, how much better can they do? 2-5-1, I think we all expect they can do much better in October than they did. And I expect in November, we're all looking for a much bigger month than we got. And there's some big, big games on here, okay? This is where it's really important for the Oilers, especially you look at who we lost to last month. You look at who we won against, the two teams that you expect need to beat every game, right? We expect to beat Nashville, and you need to beat Calgary every single time because you just can't lose those bragging rights. Tomorrow we play Dallas at 7 p.m. A live stream you can catch live here on Dolynny TV. Saturday, Nashville at 1 p.m. I expect you'll be able to catch that here as well. Monday we play the Canucks on the 6th. Thursday you play the San Jose Sharks. Saturday the 11th next week, so we get another Hockey Night in Canada game. You play the Seattle Kraken at 8 p.m. So right then and there, you're looking at this. Next week, you got an 8 o'clock and an 8:30 game. And I tell you, I'll be doing the first period and dipping off to bed and watching the rest in bed because I don't got time to be sitting here live streaming until midnight and showing up to work hungover because I'm just that tired. So there's the case. We go into Saturday next week. We make that happen. Watch for Saturday next week to maybe be a different styled stream than usual. Monday, of course, the week after, we get into a home game versus the Islanders at 6:30. Then you face the Kraken at 6:30. Then you go into another afternoon game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. All of these guys, right outside of maybe Nashville and Dallas and Tampa Bay, you're expecting the Oilers to kind of find some soft spots and win some hockey games, I think you could say for sure. Dallas, obviously a tough test, as we've already spoken about. You look at then Florida, right? You get back going and you're still out east. You got that 2 p.m. game on the 18th. Then you're out east still for the Florida game. Then you walk into Carolina at 5 p.m. This month is just terrible for start times, by the way. So you end up going out there, and then you follow it up with on the 24th. 1 p.m. game because it's American Thanksgiving, of course. So you play the Capitals at 1. We're all going to miss that hockey game. Might have to have 6:30 Chet on at the office. Not too sure. And then secondarily, you come back home and you face the Anaheim Ducks on Sunday. Then you face on Tuesday the Vegas Golden Knights. And then you're back on the road Thursday against the Winnipeg Jets. But the big matchup this month is, of course, the Vegas Golden Knights. And when it comes to what it would do for the Oilers' morale if you've been riding hot all month and you also beat the Vegas Golden Knights, in your home barn at Rogers Place, that would do a lot for the fan morale, I will tell you that much. So when it comes down to this whole schedule for the Edmonton Oilers this month, there's a lot of ground to be made up, but there's equally as many tough tests in that schedule. What do you got there? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 games or something like that next month. And that's this month, I guess you could say. My bad. That's a lot of games to get through in what will be a very big month for the Oilers. It's the biggest month so far. 11 games in October, 14, well, and I guess you don't even count the preseason games, technically speaking. You only had 8 games in the month of October. You have 11 in January. You have 12 in February. You have 15 in March and 10 in April. So for the Oilers right now, this is your big month to swing the schedule. And obviously we always talk about that American Thanksgiving cut line. Well, the Oilers, right, if you get to that game against the Washington Capitals, you've got 3 games after that ends to really make some ground up if you're near the cut line. But you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, you're talking 10 games prior to that. You got to get some mojo going here. And obviously you're looking for 10 games in the month. You're probably looking at least 7-3. And 7-3 would correct you to 9-8-1. So you're looking, by the bare minimum definition of everything, is you got to get through Dallas. You got to get through Vancouver for the first time this year. You got to get through Tampa, Florida, and Carolina. And that's a stretch last year that we didn't do so hot in, if I remember correct. But we also did pretty hot in. I can't remember which stretch it was, whether it was the home stretch or the away stretch, but you get where I'm going here. Honestly, the Oilers need to find some wins, and they need to find some wins fast prior to Friday, November 24th. So right now, you're just racing somehow, some way. You got to win 7 of the next 10 games. That's bare minimum. That's all it really comes down to. You can't find a way to lose more than 4 games in these next one. And I guess I would say if you lose to Dallas, if you lose to New York, you lose to Tampa, and you lose to one of either Carolina or Florida, then yeah, you know what? You still kind of close to it, but you really can only lose 3 out of those 4 possibilities. So for the Oilers, it's going to be an interesting month. Buckle up. But like I said, I'm open to conversation again. They made a roster change, however minor some may feel it be. But at the end of the day is, hey, you know what? We're not sitting on our hands here complacently hoping to get better naturally. We brought in Sam Gagner, who was supposed to have this roster spot from the start. However, with Gagner, right, he had a month extra rehab that he needed to do prior to being in an NHL lineup. He's completed that now following training camp ending and going down and working with the Condors for a few games. And now he's ready to make a difference on this Oilers lineup. And again, Sam's foot speed, what are you going to really gain or lose there? Because Adam Ernie wasn't all that too quick anyway. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thanks for being aboard this afternoon, this evening, tomorrow, wherever you're tuning in. Appreciate you being along for the ride. And I will catch you, as always, in the next one.